So do you want to call roll?
Dr. Miller,
Here.
Miss Lindsay,
Here.
Mr. Masters,
Here.
Mr. Linderman.
Here.
Okay, so the first thing we need to do is, if you've had a chance, has everyone had a chance to read the minutes? Any comment about the minutes? Okay, I'm gonna need somebody to move that we approve the minutes.
Move that we approve the minutes from our January 10th meeting.
Second.
Okay, did you get that, Mr. Linderman, second? All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. All right, so the first thing we have is the lot split at 117 Circle Drive. Is there anyone here? Okay.
So, you did have an item for this one.
I'll sit down, there was an item before that.
Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, I'm sorry. Discussion to appoint chairperson for P and Z board. You may-
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so is that an open discussion, I mean, the board, or is that to involve the public?
No public, it's
You guys.
Okay,
just among yourselves.
thank you, okay. Well,
I would like to nominate Ms. Lindsay as chair.
okay. I don't mind doing that, you know, I think me and Mr. Masters have been here a long time, but, okay. Any discussion, any comments?
I would think that maybe we could hold off
Yes,
until
we think
Jack is
Jack
here.
should be here.
Yeah,
Okay,
Jack should be the
I
chairman.
think,
okay.
I mean, we can vote on that, but yeah, if you want to nominate.
So I'd like to make a motion to table this until the next meeting.
Okay,
Or it's tabled until the next meeting, maybe not ours.
Okay, vote to,
okay, so you've made a motion,
We also have a motion to nominate you as well, so
so now we have two motions. So,
Oh.
Okay, I'll look for that motion.
okay, now you both are.
well, let's do this. I motion that we table this because I think all members need to be here.
Okay, do I have a second?
Second.
Okay,
Okay.
all right, so we'll move that to the agenda for the next meeting.
pardon?
Need a vote.
Oh, that's right, I'm sorry. So, all in favor of the motion to delay until possibly the next meeting, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Anyone opposed to the delay? Okay, so the motion passes to delay.
So we'll have that on the agenda for the next meeting in March.
Okay. Okay, now we'll move to the lot split at 117 Circle Drive. So, are you the only one here? The owner's not here? Is that
No,
correct?
it's just me.
You're representing them, right?
Just Lance, our friend Lance.
That's right. I don't stay away too
A
long.
long history, hasn't it?
That's right. I try not to stay away too long.
Good to see you.
You too. So my name is Lance Watson. I'm with Southeastern Consulting Engineers, and I'm speaking today on behalf of the owner, John Colton, who wants to replat this lot. And I did want to make one clarification. In the packet, or on the section on the agenda, it says replat application to split an existing lot into two parcels, and that's back as one parcel into two lots, but they're already two lots. They're just changing the configuration of the existing two lots.
And
So,
may I ask a question?
Yes, ma'am.
When did they get split the first time? I couldn't quite read it on the
they were
document.
never split, so they were the original Mexico Beach lots, but they were just made into one, just on the property appraiser is one parcel.
Okay,
There was one building on the
So
two lots.
is there a picture in here, Lance, of the original two? Is this the original two lots?
Yes, sir, that's the original.
Okay, so they were back, well,
They were,
according to how you want to look at back about that, yeah.
right.
Okay.
So what he wants to do is he wants to take and make this two parcels still be two parcels, so that no increase in density,
Okay,
and just change the configuration of the two parcels so that they're both Gulfront. And in the past, and I'm gonna hand out a couple other things too, real quick, if it's okay. We can just kind of grab one and pass it around. I'll maybe do it this way too, opposite way. These
Is this the same item?
are two different items,
So what you give him, what you give me?
two separate ones.
Let me make sure we get a copy to the clerk.
So those are the same things that have been approved in the past, and that's three different approvals, so 6 lots total. And same situation, there were 2 lots, the density did not change, and they were made into Gulfront lots instead of one behind the other. And so they want to do the same thing as those that were approved. And in doing that, there was, so also what you're looking at is there's 2 different easements on the pre-existing one. The first one we did on 33rd Street, actually, no, it was the Jack Corey lots. They had a 10-foot ingress easement and access easement, and the city didn't like that. They made it very clear they didn't like that. So the next one we did 18 feet, and that was more desirable for the city. On this one, the ingress easement that we're proposing on this one is 25 feet. To make sure there's plenty of room for the interior parcels to enter and exit and utilities and that sort of thing. So 25 for the access easement on that one. But other than that, it's just 2 lots, stay in 2 lots, reconfigured to be Gulfront with an access easement to the interior lot.
I'm getting old and my eyes are bad. Can you tell me, what is a buildable area that we've got here? It looks to me like we could do 28 width with,
Right.
that's with all the setbacks and all.
Right, yes, sir.
Okay, so 28, 28.
28 by,
And what would be the side? The side would be 50, is it 50 or 60?
60. And that's house, porch, everything.
Okay.
So typically you have a 28 or usually,
And the square footage, I'm trying to figure out how big I can make. Okay,
I don't know whether
yeah, so
yeah.
it was supported by a 60-foot deep house with best heating, cooled, and porch space.
Okay.
Just don't confuse the fact that what he passed out is just showing that we've done this before.
yeah, these 2
These
things.
other things have nothing to do with this one, that we just have done similar stuff before. I just didn't want you to confuse the ones he just passed out with what we're looking at tonight.
Well, my memory is a little bit different. We've turned several of these down.
Well, that was lot split. So that was splitting 1 lot into 2 lots, not reconfiguring 2 lots into 2 lots.
Okay. But there was a single home on 2 lots, right?
There was a single building. I don't know if it was a duplex or a single family.
A little bit different.
So he has 1 parcel with 2 lots, and he wants to make it 2 parcels.
Right. Well, we'll make 2 lots into 2 lots. So the parcels don't, that's just,
This
is property.
Gotcha.
but as far as planning purposes, 2 lots will remain 2 lots and the density won't change.
Yeah, our arguments in the past have been that combining narrow lots on beachfront was something that I don't recall. Maybe I'll take your word for it. I don't recall ever doing this.
I think
Now, this is a separate situation considering these were 2 lots and he just wants to reconfigure it.
Yes, sir.
It's a little bit different, but I don't think I've ever been part of a beachfront lot split in this
There
configuration.
was only one beachfront lot split, and I did it, and I was told not to ever do it. It got approved, but I was told not to ever do it again unless there was two lots
But
existing.
I think you were part of a few that.
I was part of 2 of them that turned down after that, and so that's where I learned about it, not agreement, but 2 lots, so that 33rd Street, the Justin Fitzhugh 33rd Street lot, that, I think it was Collins before, but that one was the same situation. It was 2 lots, so we were confused.
And what's next door to these? I see that there looks like there was a really odd configured lot. I guess it would be on the east side of that. It looks like there were 3.
Yes, sir, those are townhomes. Is that 42nd Street?
Well, it's right next to these lots. That would have been, this is 30, yeah, it probably would have been 37.
40, there's
Here's a picture.
Yeah, so that's 42nd Street, that's a quadruplex.
There were, it looks to me like there were 1, 2, 3, 4.
Those are actually being rebuilt right now. It's a quadruplex.
Okay, in that same footprint.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
And that's, cause that's in the townhome district next door, so they never pre-existed, those townhomes were pre-existing as townhomes, so they just rebuilt.
Did we get any letters from the neighbors?
We had one call, and she just wanted some clarification on the direction of the lots. Tammy, was there anything else that you received? No, that was it. And she was fine once she wanted to see it, so we showed it to her. One thing that I'd like to point out, you have pools drawn on here. That's what it looks like. I don't know if that's just an example of what it might look like, but something that has been a hot topic with it before, where the pool facing the Gulf. I don't know how it's going to work with your safety barrier fence, and maybe that's something, James, when it's maybe something to talk about. But we've had pools moved to sides of houses,
Right.
so this is
On Gulfront houses?
Gulf facing on the other side of 98. Yeah, so I guess there was nothing on the other side of the road, so yeah, that's Gulfront house with a pool that had to be moved. So we haven't got any plans, so the building department hasn't any plans for these things yet, so that's not really what we're addressing at all today. I just want to let you know that you can see these two pictures of these two pools.
And so that's for the fiction purposes, and, you know, what we're looking at is plat, that's just so just to be transparent, give everybody an idea of what this possibly go there.
We haven't received any plans.
And so all the lots on the Gulf front, is the front of the lot, the portion facing the beach, going to make a big difference in the setbacks?
Mexico Beach actually lets you choose the front to be the Gulf or the opposite of the Gulf.
Okay, so you can choose your own front?
Yes, sir. In Mexico Beach, you always have that.
But they don't have
Oh, just only on Gulfront lots.
Only on Gulf?
Yes, sir. Only on Gulfront lots.
Well, my house is confusing because my mailbox is on a different street than my address. My mailbox is on Paradise Path and my address is 20th Street. So is my neighbor's. So who knows where the front of my house is?
It might be the question when I first seen this was the size of the lots. Seems, I read in the LDR that it has to be 1/6 of an acre, which is 0.16667, and one of these is 1.5.
Well, one of them was 0.18 and the other one was 0.20.
Okay, that's changed to this.
The 0.15 was so they're the same, 0.15, 0.18, they're the same acreage as before.
Correct.
They're just reconfigured, and that's what they were for, 0.15 and 0.18. Same, and the same for the proposed.
Okay, anyone else have questions or comments? This is still the public part of the meeting.
All right, so explain what you just did again. It's the same acreage, that I understand, but one is 0.15 and one is 0.18. Doesn't that leave the 0.15 under the requirement?
If you're asking for a split, this is two lots existing and two lots proposed. So if you're asking for more density, then yes, you have to do it that way.
But you're creating a non-conforming lot.
But you have a non-conforming lot.
So one of them is less than 0.17 now?
Yes, 0.15. They're exactly the same as they were. They're proposed as the exact same acreage as they are existing.
Okay.
Okay, are there any other comments or questions? Okay, we can close the public portion of the meeting and open this up for the board. Any comments, questions?
Well, I've always, in all situations, been opposed to splitting these Gulfront lots. I think it's wrong, but in this situation, these are two existing lots. And he just wants to reconfigure them, so that throws a whole new thought into this. If this was a single lot to be split, I'd be adamantly opposed.
Absolutely. I think we would all agree with that, but it's
Can
not.
I ask why? This is being new. What is the concern with splitting the Gulfront lots?
Well, you know, when people come in to buy a piece of property or whatever, they often look at the maps and see what the neighborhood looks like so that they are gonna fit in there and that's what they want to live. And so it helps to protect property values and it protects, you know, the neighbors.
And one other thing is that everybody along the Gulf Front that's got a similar lot is gonna come in here and split it. I mean, it makes financial sense. They don't
Right.
want to do this, so you open a can of worms when you start approving splits like this. And that's why in the past I've been opposed to it. If you look at there's several places in here where it shows the front, I don't know if this is the right page, but it shows the frontage on the beach, and look at the width of those lots.
I agree with you that it would be a different situation if it was just a split without the fact that it was already split. And
But you just don't explain that away when somebody's got a lot
yeah,
across the street that wants to split it, then
I know.
you just can't come in here and say, you're, open up a can of worms by doing this, but, it's already two lots, so you're not,
Yeah, this is a unique situation.
Yeah, I guess I'd point out, I went down and looked at this, the fourplex next door is very similar. It's just not, they're all connected, but kind of keeps the same.
yeah, I think that's the glance back, because next door to it, you've got that really odd four
Yeah.
splits already, so.
You know, the thing that I regret about this, because I went down and looked at it too, is that there are so few things that have been built back,
Yes.
that we don't know what's gonna happen to the lot that's next door on Circle Drive. And that would be helpful to know what that's gonna look like. All we
Which
have.
lot are we talking about, across the street from this?
No, I mean, beside it,
Closer to 98.
closer to 98. We don't know what that's gonna look like. So, but as you say, having a fourplex behind it, you can't really make a judgment as to
Because,
how.
I mean, you're blocking views of other properties down the
Right.
street, there's a lot that goes into it more than just simply,
I agree.
so
So they
the person that owns this lot, are they gonna build rental houses?
I'm not sure, I know that they're planning on building houses, but I don't know if they're rentals or sell them or keep them.
So who is this that's asking?
The owner,
Okay, John Colton.
just now. And one thing to mention too, is I know that a lot of concern is block views. So as opposed to two lots that will take up, full depth houses, that with having two houses in this direction, for the person that's gonna build landward of this lot, it's gonna have a 15-foot gap between buildings for additional view.
But they're gonna have less on the circle side, because they're only gonna be 7.5 feet versus 20.
Well, off the surface side's a 10-foot setback, I guess, around the state 20.
So you're gonna have two skinny little houses that we've got up and down.
Yep.
There's some up here that's what, 12 or 15 feet?
They won't be
wide.
like that. These are still 28 feet wide. They're pretty big. But yeah, this little shotgun I thought I was talking about.
Okay, is there more discussion? I have a request that would help us when we have these packets that are so thick, is that if we could find a numbering system for these packets so that we could tell what page it is, and we could easily say to one another, hey, look at page, like this is item 4 on the agenda, look at page 4-6, okay? Is that possible to do? Because that would really help us so that we can all be on the same page instead of flipping through these things continuously.
Yes, ma'am, we'll work on a plan for that.
That'd be
I
great.
don't disagree with you. There was a lot of different maps that all said the same thing, so.
It was a little bit hard to follow. Okay, so any other discussion on this particular item?
My only concern was the lot size, but it's really not changing, it's not conforming now, and it won't be conforming then. So which
Yeah.
direction is not conforming, I guess it's not relevant.
At this point, right not.
Yeah. So I motion that we approve 117 Circle Drive, reconforming.
Okay, do I have a second?
I'll second.
Okay, so, all in favor? Pardon?
She was called.
Oh, that's right. Waiting.
Ready? Dr. Miller?
Yes.
Ms. Lindsay?
Yes.
Mr. Masters?
Yes.
Mr. Linderman?
Yes.
Okay,
It's gonna come back and bite us.
probably so. But we'll remember what we said for this one. That- Okay, is there other discussion?
I just have something I'd like to add, if I can, ma'am.
Yes, go ahead.
So we do have in the crowd tonight, Mackie Sanders, who is on the agenda tomorrow to go before the council for approval to go to the P&Z board. So he's here, he's in the middle there. He's a lifelong architect, retired now. Brings a wealth of knowledge with him. He was kind of talked into it probably by Mr. Driver. He was the one that he was talking about. So we will put that before the council tomorrow. And if approved, he'll be at the next meeting as an alternate. So we've kind of shifted up our list of our active members on our council on the planning and zoning board. As you can see, Mr. Linderman remains an alternate, and then Mr. Mackey would also be a second alternate. In addition to that, we're providing you with city emails. I believe you had a Gmail account in an effort to track all of our emails and things of that nature, be able to send packets to you electronically as well. We will be using those new emails, so I believe Tammy passed out some login credentials. Julie or Tammy or myself or somebody in the office can help you get logged in if you need some help with that. But we would prefer you to use that primarily going forward so that it can be backed up on the server, and we have a record for it should we ever need it for anything else.
Now, I already use a city email address, so this is going to be different.
You currently have one?
Yeah.
I wasn't aware that you had one, so no, don't change anything with if it's at mexicobeachgov.com, correct? All right, so we'll make sure that we have that squared away for you. Don't change anything. I'll follow up with you, okay? So we just want to make sure that we had some Gmails that were being used. We wanted to get them off of that information, so we can continue to forward that along. The last thing that I want to remind you is just in addition to that, public records laws that go along with those emails. Maybe Clint, if you wanted to add anything about public records, anything that you say in that email, is trackable. There's sunshine laws. You need to make sure that you're practicing sunshine laws here in the state of Florida. That's
Any communication you have, it will be a public record.
Right. Well, as I said earlier, I think that going to these new email accounts makes much more sense. The Gmail accounts never made sense to me, so.
doesn't cost anything extra, so
Yeah.
we're getting that squared away. So we're just trying to bring that up, so that way, if mass emails need to go out to certain folks, you can be included on those as well.
Right.
So I just want to make sure you knew that was coming, and if you got a packet tonight with your username and stuff, we can help you sign up for that with City Hall. We can help you get squared away.
Okay, sounds good. And we welcome new members too. Glad to see you here.
You invented.
Yes, Lisa?
So with these new emails, are these still the emails that the public can write to? Because that's been a problem in the past. The public has tried many times to get in touch with P&Z members and they didn't have any method. So are these new emails going to be where the public can reach P&Z members?
So it's a public email. If you have that email address, you can send them an email. As long as they're monitoring it, they can get back to you, or they can forward it to me and I can handle it. However you would like to do that. But yes, they are
Okay.
public
it's a-
emails, just like mine.
It's mexicobeachgov.com, so that's gonna be in the public domain.
Okay.
That's not gonna be a problem.
So it would be on our P&Z page,
Yes.
under our minutes, like it is with the city council.
We'll get that all squared away now that we have announced it. Sort of formally let everybody know.
Okay,
That's
so
all I have.
is there a date by which we need to go in and change our password, or?
The sooner the better. And if you have a problem, but we're going to start processing, once we get the emails and we've squared communication back and forth with you, we'll start posting them regularly. But
You
yes,
know, if you have 2-point authorizations on these accounts, sometimes it can get crazy, change emails, change passwords.
Should, so
You know,
should we
like what
wait?
I've got, I can't do anything. I mean, of course, I don't need to,
right.
but
You have to change it every
It's all
every
locked.
90 days to change your password.
I have no idea who's associated with the account I've got.
Well, I'll confirm with you tomorrow. We'll
Okay.
Julie.
Yeah, just
make
send me
sure-
an email through that. If you look at the list, you'll see that I'm P&Z place 5 or something.
Yes, sir.
And it's always been that way.
We'll make sure that they have it squared away. As soon as I have to just have to look at it tomorrow.
So my question is, do we need to wait a day or two before we change password or not?
Anytime you're ready.
Okay.
Sooner the better.
Okay.
Just and then once you get it set up, you can shoot an email to myself or Julie. We can get that squared away with you. We'll communicate with you.
Okay, all right. Anybody else got anything?
I'll make sure that you have these for the record since you brought them.
Okay, we need a motion to adjourn. If there's nothing else.
I got a question. These written, these emails and stuff. When people bring like extra documents, can we have a deadline for them to get those in before they just get handed out at the last minute?
You can make a presentation and supply that. We just have to make sure we give it to the clerk. I mean, if you had it earlier time, I could have sent it to everybody.
If you feel that you didn't have enough time to review it, that it mattered, then not pay attention. It's up to you.
But what is the actual letter that we send out to the,
There's an email that you can send, so 2 hours prior to the meeting, you can
Oh,
email
okay.
the information.
oh, okay. So we've got that established. So they've got till 2 hours before the meeting, no matter what, right?
Still, you feel that you don't have enough time to take
I
that
guess there's
in.
an issue today, but there has been some law before.
You use your own discretion, but you look at what you use for it.
Okay. Yes, sir.
If there is some sort of, I don't know, rule that comes along, is there a way that it would be posted so we can see? Because it's pretty typical in most presentations of this type to have extra stuff for people to see, especially at council meeting, because Mr. Allen always wants to 11/17, so I'll bring one for him, but it's pretty typical to have a few things just to help explain a little more that wasn't in the formal submittal. So I guess what I'm asking is if that becomes to be a requirement, whether they call it guard, if there's some sort of way in the public or we could know about it.
I understand.
Okay. All right. Anybody else?
A motion to adjourn.
Second motion.
Okay, so, you ready?